Hey everyone, welcome back Bronco with Bronco's Gaming World. We're doing brand new Arkham Horror campaign today, and I've made the determination that I am going to make an attempt to play through all of the Arkham Horror campaigns with our girl Jenny Barnes. That's what I'm going to try to do, and this is the deck that I'm starting out with, brand new, with our Path of Carcosa campaign here. I'm trying to figure out like the last card I want to put in and maybe make another swap, because I found just through playing her often enough that a pair of Liquid Courages doesn't typically come into play very often, and I'm trying to figure out what to put in here. So I'm kind of goofing around a little bit with my deck just to kind of come up with a plan for what I want to put in here, and I can't figure it out quite yet. Intel report. When you play Intel report, increase its cost by 2. Change discover 1 clue to discover 2 clues. Kind of like that one. That one's pretty good. I also need like some stuff that has brain, because my brain takes a beating a good bit, so it would be nice to be able to kind of fend off some of the sand blasting. Lucky cigarette case. After you succeed at a skill test by 2 or more, exhaust lucky cigarette case to draw a card, and it has a brain icon. That one's not bad, because especially when we're talking about I like the fact that in her book she has like a cigarette case. She has Lonnie Ritter with her, which is also kind of a cool thing. And I may put her in there just because. Does Lonnie Ritter get +1 fight? He's got 2 health, 3 sand. Exhaust Lonnie Ritter and spend a resource. Choose an item asset controlled by an investigator at your location and heal 1 damage. So she's really only good in multiplayer. So that's I'm not going to use her there. Lucky cigarette case. It's got a brain test icon, so I can always discard it. It says after you succeed at a skill test by 2 or more, exhaust lucky cigarette case to draw a card. Not the best, honestly. They're not the best. Money talks. When you initiate a skill test, instead of the skill type indicated for this test, this is a resource skill test. Your basic skill value test. Oh, so I guess half the number of resources. So if I pile up resources, it'll help me. I think what I'm gonna actually do, I need to add a card to my deck inherently. So I think I am gonna go put a emergency cash in there. And fine clothes would be cool for, again, thematically it seems cool for her, but there's not a ton of there are some that are parlay actions. If fine clothes had brain discard, like a willpower discard instead of agility discard, I would probably pick it again thematically. Kind of trying to stick to like somewhat of a theme with her. I'm also using all of her cards from Night of the Huntress. So she's going to have the Green Man Medallion and the Sacrificial Beast weakness. So I'm going to have 3 weaknesses in my deck, which all but guarantees. And the random one I drew was Paranoia, which discard all your resources is catastrophic to her. So that's going to be poor for me. But I'm kind of stuck because I don't know what else I would want to use. Trench coat. I don't know. 4 brain. Next one, commit to a skill test only if you have 3 or fewer remaining sanity. Yeah, that's a possibility. It's a big brain one. It's just a dead card, though, if you don't take any sand damage, so... Immediately mark a checkbox on the upgrade sheet for a customizable card you own, even if it's not in play. Plus assault, it's the same kind of thing. It's like, if 3 or fewer sand remaining, you just kind of start going crazy. Painkillers. Plus painkillers to take 1 horde to heal a damage. Got a brain. Actually, I think I'm going to go with painkillers there and get rid of a liquid courage. And just it's basically the equivalent to the damage version of Liquid Courage. So that puts us at a good spot. So I think I'm going to save that deck and export it, and then we're going to rock the shit. Let's go. So, on file. All right. So here we go, guys. Drag it into the right area here. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be good. I think we're going to be in good shape. File. All right, so we're going to go jump over to our game screen here. Hello. There it is. There it is. All right, so let's import our girl and see how this goes. At the Carcosa, here we come. I don't have the permanent version of Streetwise yet, which we will at some point. Curtain call, here we go. At the Carcosa. All right. All right, so here we go. So Path of Carcosa's got a couple of new rules and mechanics. It's got a keyword of hidden. It says hidden cards have revelation abilities that secretly add them to your hand. So those should be done without revealing the card of the other investigator. So if again in a multiplayer game, that would be a different kind of situation. We're not playing Lola, so she's not gonna be involved here. Doubt and conviction. So as we progress, some of the decisions that we make are going to allow us to add either doubt, like we're doubtful, doubt or conviction to the story modes of how the game's going to go. There's some story cards in there. Some of the enemies are going to have like stories on the back that you once you interview them or capture, or kill them, they'll you'll flip that and get that whatever that result is. Campaign setup. All right, so here we go. We're going to read the prologue. I'm going to zoom in on that and put that up on the screen so you guys can see it. All right, so here we go. We're into the prologue. Prologue says, you turn over the folded program in your hand, reading it for what it seems like 100th time. The Miskatonic Playhouse presents The King in Yellow, it reads, a special one-night engagement at Arkham's very own Ward Theater, an irresistible drama in 2 acts. Production is staged and directed by Nigel Ingram. The cast is a small ensemble with one unattributed credit at the end, The Stranger. To have such a highly anticipated play come to Arkham all the way from Paris is a noteworthy event, even if it's just for one night. For weeks leading up to the show, it was the talk of the town. It seemed so unassuming, and yet you have evidence of something sinister at work. It started with the disappearance of one of the stagehands at the theater, a boy of only 17 who missed rehearsal one night and was never seen again. Then, less than 2 weeks before the performance, there was a musician whose corpse was found with a gun in his mouth. Perhaps the most chilling was the crazed man the coppers had picked up in Independence Square who had been ranting and raving about the king's return. He was brought to Arkham Asylum, where you were surprised to discover that he was not alone in his delusions. Finding these events suspicious, you and your companions have delved deeper into the matter. Although no connection can be proven, these weren't the only strange events surrounding the up-and-coming play. Instances of suicide and madness have followed in its wake, and you are determined to discover why. The lights in the auditorium dim and the spotlight shines on the stage. What unfolds is not quite what you expected. Slow paced and monotonous, the first act of King in Yellow is a tedious bore. The setting and the characters are compelling, but the meandering and nonsensical story does little to entertain or inform. You begin to wonder whether the dreadful events surrounding the King in Yellow aren't connected after all. Perhaps it's just your overactive imagination. How could such a trivial and unassuming show cause such pandemonium? You're surprised when the first act closes without any rising action or revelation. The lights rise for the intermission, and you consider leaving early. Stifling a yawn before you're able to decide, however, you find yourself drifting to sleep. All right, Lola Hayes is not chosen as an investigator, so we proceed to scenario 1, curtain call. All right, it says, you awaken with a start as though shaken by an unseen force. You must have slept for quite some time, for there are only a few other patrons in the audience and no performers on stage. The lights are dimmed, and the stage curtains are tattered and ripped, though you don't remember that being the case during the first act. You wait a moment before you're sure that this isn't part of the performance. As you wait, a foul but unrecognizable smell permeates the air. How long have you been asleep? Shaking off your drowsiness, you walk towards one of the seated patrons and ask for the time. But he does not respond. It is then that you realize that you're speaking to a corpse. Alright, so it says gather all of the following encounter sets: curtain call, evil portents, delusions, hauntings, cult of the yellow sign, striking fear, and rats. These are indicated by the following icons. That the following cards aside out of play: Man in the Pallid Mask, Royal Emissary, each copy of the lobby doorway, and each copy of backstage doorway. With the theater, lobby, balcony, and backstage locations into play, and each investigator begins playing the theater. We don't have Lola Hayes, so we don't care what she has to say. And then shuffle the remainder of the encounter cards to build the encounter deck, and here is how it's going to lay out for us. So I will go put that together so we have it laid out the correct way. We've got the lobby here, theater, balcony up there, and the backstage is over here. And we'll spread them out a little bit so that we have some room to put any awful things out there. Put my path markers down real quick, and then we're going to rock it. Path marker there. Got to make sure that the path markers actually connect like that. I think they do, but I want to make sure. All right, so the lobby connects to triangles, or the theater connects to the lobby. The lobby connects to square and plus sign. Ooh, that's weird. So the lobby, you can get to the balcony. Backstage is only connected to the theater and an unknown location. So we do have a weird path marker here. Turn it. Flip it. There you go. So like that. You know what? I think it's a longer one. Long. Oops. And there it goes. Long path. Bang. And then I'll lock it so it doesn't move around on us. And the theater is connected to backstage and lobby. We can only get to the balcony from the lobby because it's square, and the lobby and the balcony is only connected. That's weird. You can't get to the balcony from the theater, but the balcony connects to the theater. That's really odd. I mean, it is what it is. It's a one-way path, I guess. You can't go any other way. That's weird. I may not do it that way because that seems dumb. That there. He connects to moon. There is no moon yet. Music just kind of crept back in there. Sorry about that, folks. Weird.
We wrote a little
Sorry
song
about that, folks.
what it's like
Okay.
to think and to live
So
out.
I need to put a chaos bag out. Let me go grab a
We
chaos
call
bag
this
real
song
quick.
Free. I don't know where I belong. Got no place to call my home. All the people all around me just can't see the things that I
How it goes.
see.
All right, we're ready to figure out what the hell is going on here. So I will swap this back over to our game screen. There we are.
There's no reason to be sad because I'm free.
2, 3, 4.
All right. Let's take a look at our opening hand. Opening hand, we've got Elusive. Let's just disengage. Let's just disengage from enemies.
Leave all that behind.
I quit my job, I quit my school, do just what I want to do.
The music is weird. Sorry about that. All right, so we got Elusive. Disengage from each enemy engaged with you and move to a revealed location with no enemies. We got Leo. We always like Leo. Got our painkillers. Probably get rid of that right now. Yeah, so I got our painkillers and our liquid courage. I think I'm going to mulligan those away. So painkillers, liquid courage, even elusive. I think we'll get rid of all three of those. Try to find some of our resource kit. All right, so that was perfect. We ended up with arcane studies and hard knocks, so perfect right out of the gate. All right, let's read our act and agenda. This agenda 1A is the third act. The theater is eerily silent. Old wooden floor creaks beneath your feet, and a light rain gently patters on the roof as you explore the auditorium. There are more rotting corpses among the seats, and the rest of the crowd has vanished. Our Act 1A is Awakening. You pinch yourself to see if you are dreaming, and sure enough, your skin stings and reddens. You take a few deep breaths and try to think rationally. Whatever is going on, you must explore the theater to learn the truth of the matter. All right, so we need 3 clues to get past Act 1A, and the agenda has 6 doom to advance. We're looking at only two agendas tonight. And there are up to 4 acts for us to get through, so we can't stand around and wait too long. All right, in our curtain call chaos tokens for tonight, the skull's -1, -3 if I have 3 or more horror on me, so this could get ugly with the horror. All 3 of the other tokens, which I don't think I have any tablets or elder things in there, if our location has at least 1 horror on it, take a horror token pool. If your location has no horror on it, place 1 horror on it instead. So there we go. All right. Shuffle up the chaos bag. Shuffle up the encounter deck. Make sure everything's all set, and we're gonna rock and roll. Hold our breath. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so it is our turn. Opening turn. So right out of the box, I'm gonna throw Arcane Studies out. So I'll play Arcane Studies. Our 2 resources there. And I will play Hard Knocks. That's 2 of our actions. There. Oh, we're in the lobby. I need to put us in the lobby. Oh, hold on. I need to make sure. I need to go back and check. Because we may start in the theater. Now that I think about it, I want to make sure that I do it right. We begin in a theater, so we're in the theater. All right, so we're in the theater. All right, so those 2 actions I did there to play those 2 cards. The theater says, must have been one hell of an intermission. No shit. And we flip the theater. To say that the theater is in disarray would be a profound understatement. The walls and seats, previously polished to a shine, are cracked and caked with dirt. The curtains are tattered, and the set is stained with old blood. You aren't sure what's worse, the smell of rot or the nagging feeling that you've been asleep for a very long time. Reasonable thought process. There's a 2 shroud here. No clues in the theater though, so we're going to have to wander around. Okay. All right, and with that, I will wander around. I think I will wander. Let's go backstage. We'll go to the backstage. So, in my last action will be to move to the backstage. Says, the set is different from what you remember from the play's first act, decorated with a backdrop of an settling sunset. That's weird. Yeah, the picture's definitely odd. So we'll flip that. There is a shroud of 3 here. 1 clue. This forced. When backstage is revealed, put 2 of the set-aside backstage doorway locations into play at random. While you're at the backstage, each hidden treachery in your hand counts as 3 cards instead of 1 for the purposes of counting your hand size. Okay. So we don't want to be in here for very long, is the message I just got there. Look at all of our cards, looking for the backstage. Take 2 and 3. All right. And these only connect to the backstage here, so we'll just put those 2 right there. And our path marker. And path marker. All right. So there we go. Nothing crazy goes on there. So we're good to go. That's going to put us at the end of the turn. And back up here. That takes us to the end of the turn. We're ready to refresh. And we are ready for the next round. And that would put our Doom up there on the agenda. We drew our second Leo DeLuca, which is fine because I can discard him for investigation. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We have Frozen in Fear. Frozen in Fear to play in your threat area. First time you perform one of the following actions each round, it costs 1 additional action. At the end of your turn, test willpower 3. If I succeed, I can discard Frozen in Fear. So we are Frozen in Fear. Can't say I'm surprised by that. Everything's freaky and weird right now. So, all right. So that is the end of the Mythos phase. So it is back to our turn. There is 1 clue in here with a Shroud of 3. I'm not moving, fighting, or evading. I will probably investigate here. So I will investigate the Shroud 3 with a skill of 3. I will discard the 1 Leo DeLuca I have to give us a 4. I will discard 1 resource to my Arcane Studies to give us a 5. 5 versus 3. Skull. -1, -3 instead if you have 3 or more horror on me. I do not, so it is only -1, so we have successfully gained that 1 clue. So that was 1 action. The next action will be to move to this backstage area. And these backstage areas are not connected to each other. So this backstage area says, a simple wooden door leads into the back of the theater, far from the prying eyes of patrons. And we reveal it. The trap room. Shroud 3, 1 clue. Private location. After you reveal the trap room, search the encounter deck and discard pile for 1 copy of Swarm of Rats and put it in play with Engage with you. 2 copies instead if there are 3 or 4 investigators in the game. Shuffle the encounter deck if it is searched. Clearly, nobody has cleaned out the prop area beneath the stage in months. Cool, so we do get a rat on us, so I gotta go find him. And that's my last action, so I won't be able to actually do anything about him, so he's going to attack me. Rat. There he is. Ah. Close and shuffle. Alright, so there's the rats. The rats are a 1 attack, 1 hit point, 3 evade creature with Hunter. A horde of cruel rats skitters forth in an undulating wave of claws, teeth, and modded fur. So here he is on me. Alright, and that is the end of our turn. So I do have to do my test for Frozen in Fear. I will boost that by 1 to try to give us a chance to get rid of it. It is a 0, so it goes away. Card that. That's the end of the turn. We are ready for the next round. We drew our painkillers, which is good for any kind of brain damage that we have to try to stop. All right, so actually, I skipped a stage here. So Storm Rats is engaged with me. They're going to attack me. They're going to do a point of damage. Then we advance to the end of the round. So now we're at two on the agenda, and our encounter card for the turn is Whispers in Your Head. It's secretly add Whispers in Your Head to your hand. You cannot trigger lightning abilities, and I have to discard Whisper. Spend 2 actions to discard Whispers in my hand. That's horrible because these are lightning abilities. Okay, and that counts as 2 cards in my hand and not 1 because I'm in the trap room. Oh no, I'm not in there. That's backstage. All right, so first off, we are fighting rats. I am up by 2. I don't think I'm going to do anything special, so I will fight the rats. Skull's still -1, so they get killed. We slaughter the rats, they go away. My last 2 actions are going to be to get rid of Whispers in Your Head. Actually, yeah, because I do need to be able to investigate, so I'll spend my last 2 actions to get rid of Whispers in Our Head. Start that. Okay. That's ready to refresh for the next round. There's no enemies this time, so I'm not skipping any steps. Found a knife. Counter card. Distant voices. I cannot play assets or events. I discard them at the end. So we're stuck in this basement down here. So I cannot play any assets or events. That's fine. We can investigate though. So I will investigate the trap room. I can discard. We're even. I'll discard 2 to my Arcane Studies to be a 5 versus 3. We pull a 0, so we do find a clue there. We need 3 total. So that was 1 action. My second action will be to move here. My third action will be to move to the backstage doorway. The wooden door leads to the back of the theater, far from the prying eyes of patrons. The rehearsal room is forced after you succeed by 2 or more while investigating the rehearsal room. Take a horror. As you enter this room, silently confronting you is a giant symbol torn into the wallpaper. You cannot tell whether the wall was deliberately vandalized or the material peeled away in a strange pattern on its own. We also investigated the trap room, so we do get 1 victory point for that. So we'll keep that in mind. There is a 1 shroud in here and 1 clue in here, so we're probably going to take a horror because I'm gonna investigate next turn. So right here, trap room was investigate 1, move. So we're done. That's the end of our turn. There are no enemies. We will discard distant voices. Ready for the next round. Do some guts. Nice. Anything to boost our brain power is good. And the encounter card. Spires of Carcosa. It's a treachery. Omen. Revelation attached to your location, then place 2 doom on that location. If there's no doom on the attached location, discard Spires of Carcosa. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues here, remove 1 doom from the attached location. So we're probably going to want to do that because that's going to put 2 doom here, which allows this. That's enough to advance the agenda. So we're going to need to probably spend 3 turns here investigating to get rid of those 2, and then get the 1 clue there. So that's put that card here so that we don't forget that. All right, so here we go. Actually, if I want the clue out of this room, I have to investigate twice there to get rid of those 2 doom, because that's what that says to me. It says, if you succeed, instead of discovering clues here, remove 1 doom from the attached location. So that tells me that, yeah, we're going to have to do it. Here we go. I'm up by 2. I'm not going to do anything to boost that. I think we're good. Actually, you know what? I'll boost it by 1 just to help make sure that we get it. -4 still not enough. That hurt. That hurt bad. That hurt bad. Now it changes what I might do here, because we're going to be at 5. Even if I get rid of these 2, I'm only going to save a turn. And that's it. -4 kills me, man. I put myself up by 3. Literally, I think there's 2 tokens in the bag that could have got me, and that was one of them. Damn it. And I need to take a quick break real quick, guys. Sorry about that. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, folks. Okay, so now I've got to really think about it, because I could spend my last 2 actions here to get rid of the 2 doom, but it's literally going to save me 1 turn. All right, yeah, I'll still do it. I'm not going to spend any other resources on it, though. Or I hit -4 again. So -4 again also fails. You know what? I'll just generate a resource, because that was some shit. All right, so that's going to be the end of that. We're ready for the next round. That will trigger the agenda. It's going to go. Flip it. The emissary's message. Abruptly, the malformed body of an unnatural nightmare slams onto the stage, its slithering tendrils reaching into the aisles. It opens its maw and lets out a shrill, piercing song. The melody is uncanny. The notes sear into your mind. Pain pounds on your forehead, and blood runs from your ears. Search all the set-aside cards and the victory display for the Royal Emissary enemy and spawn it in the theater. Okay. He's going to go join the theater troupe. Go find him. Holy moly, he's a dick. All right, so here he is. We'll take a look at him here in a second. There he is. He's the messenger from Aldebaran. Fight 4 hit points, 2 evade. He preys on the lowest brains. He's massive hunter, and he has retaliate. At the end of the enemy phase, each investigator at Royal Emissary's location or a connecting location takes 1 horror. Okay. We'll put him there. I don't have any way to deal with him right now. And we will put the next act. That will clear all of the Doom tokens, by the way. So these 2 go away. because they all contribute to the advancing of the agenda. We will reveal the next agenda. Encore! The creature's song echoes relentlessly throughout the halls of the theater. The melody repeats again and again, yet somehow never the same note twice. Forced, after the royal emissary is added to the victory display, remove all doom from play and reset the agenda deck to 1A, then place 3 doom on that agenda. I'm going to flip it because I want to see how I think that this just keeps repeating itself. No, it does not. Okay. So yeah, this could go really poorly, really quickly. All right, so now we're going to draw an encounter card for us. We get Treachery, Twisted to his will. It's a pact, revelation. If there's no doom in play, Twisted will gain search. So there is no doom in play because we have proceeded past that. We did find a fanatic. Humanoid cultist spawns in a reveal location with the most clues. That would be in the room we're in. Says after the fanatic enters play, move 1 clue from the fanatic's location to the fanatic. When you defeat the fanatic, take control of all of its clues. So we don't have to investigate anymore. We just have to kill this guy. So he is on us. He is engaged with us, and he has taken the clue that was in there, and he now possesses it. So we're not going to get. We're going to get the clue out of there, get the victory point, but we're not going to. We're not going to get the horror hit, which is actually nice. All right, so it's our turn here. We're engaged, so we can only fight or evade without taking an attack. I think. Okay, so I can't actually play any cards. So he has a 3 fight. We're a 3 fight. He's got 2 hit points. I don't have any way to do more than 1 point of damage, so I'm going to have to use 2 actions just to fight this guy. Let's see. All right, so we're going to fight. So I'll discard 2 to my Hard Knocks to give me a fight of 5 against his 3. So we're up by 2. We draw a skull, still -1, so we do a point of damage to him. I will do it a second time. 1, 2, 0. So we got him. So he is defeated. We have picked up his clue. That will discard that. That will immediately advance our Act 1A, which is good. We will flip that, spending our 3. 1, 2. His final bow. A shadow creeps along the wall beside you, and your heart leaps into your throat. You turn, and a figure flits away just out of sight. Either your mind is playing tricks on you, or someone else is in the theater. You follow the direction of the shadow, rounding a nearby corner. At the far end of the hall, he stands awaiting you, a man in an elegant black suit, his face covered in a pale mask. Though his attire has changed, you instantly recognize him as the actor who played the role of the stranger, one of the characters from The King in Yellow. He turns and disappears through an open doorway as if taunting you to follow. Use one of the set-aside locations at random and put that location into play and spawn the set-aside man in the pallid mask enemy at that location. Advance to one of the 3 copies of Act 2A at random. Remove the other 2 copies from the game without looking at them. Okay. So we're going to go put a random location into play. So there is. We will get a random number generator here. Since there are 4 cards out. I want to make sure that I've got that right. There's 4 cards. There are 4. All right, so number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is a backstage doorway that he goes through, and he will spawn there. Close that. Twisted. His will goes away. And it is connected to a diamond. So that card can also go. So I will put it right there. Since I am the lead investigator, I can put it where I want to. There. We'll move that. And then he is there. He is Man in the Pallid Mask. He's a weakness. He's got a 4 fight, 3 hit points, 4 evade. He's a humanoid elite. He spawns at the farthest location from all investigators. That doesn't happen because the act tells me where to put him. He's aloof, so he doesn't actually do anything. But if we investigate in a location that he's in, he's +2. It gets +2 shroud. +2 shroud. If we succeed, instead of discovering clues, we defeat him instead. So he is here. And then we advance to one of the 3 copies of Act 2A. 2A. All right, we'll random number that thing too. Number between 1 and 3, going the wrong direction. 3, 1, 2, 3. So this one. The other ones get discarded. All right, so we have Act 2A, The Stranger. The mysterious stranger from the King in Yellow might know something about what happened during the intermission. You must find and confront him if you are to discover the truth. When the man in the pallid mask would be discarded from play, advance. Okay? So we need to go to him and advance. So it took 2 actions for us to kill the fanatic there, so I can move into his room, which we will absolutely do. Bring to the front. The backstage doorway. A simple wooden door leads to the backstage, to the back of the theater, far from prying eyes of patrons. Make sure that I read that right. Set aside locations at random. Yeah. It's a dressing room. 4 shroud. No clues in here. So that sucks. The cast dressing room is filled with all manner of costumes and accessories, but it's the tattered yellow robe at the far end of the room that catches your attention. It looks too torn and disheveled to be worn, yet it's enticing all the same. All right, so I can spend all my actions to heal 3 horror, which is nice. The Man of Pallid Mask is in there. He's aloof, so he doesn't do anything. I almost have to actually, because there's no clues in here, I have to actually fight him to make him go away. That is a pain in the ass. Okay, so that is the end of my turn. Enemy's turn. He's a hunter, so he's going to come. What up, bro? He's going into the backstage. We got a couple of turns before he gets to us. That will be the ready for next round. So 1 doom on the agenda. We haven't played any cards in a while, so my hand is now at 8. So I'm definitely going to play cards next turn, so no problem there. And the encounter card for the turn is... Oops. Treachery, Descent in the Madness. It surges. If you have at least 3 horror on you, you lose an action. I do not. So nothing yet. Spirit's Torment. Treachery. It's a cursed Geist. Revelation. Attach your location. After you leave the attached location, you must either take 1 horror or lose 1 action. I can spend one of my clues to get rid of Spirit's Torment. All right, so Spirit's Torment is going to be here on the back, on the backstage here. Doesn't really do anything to me. I can take the 1 horror if I need to. All right, so that's our turn. Here we go. 5 resources. I took in a point of damage. We're going to whip my knife out. First action is going to be to pull out a knife. That thing into play. That's the weapon I have. And we're going to fight the man in the pallid mask. So I will spend a second action to engage him. So I will engage him. Now he's on me. My third action will be to fight him. So I get a +1 with my knife. So I'm at a 4 versus 4. I will discard an Unexpected Courage to be at a 6 versus 4. I will discard one of my resources for Hard Knocks to be up by 3. -1, so we hit him. My knife only does 1 damage, so he'll take a damage. And that is my 3 actions. So his attack on me will be 1 horror, so I take a horror. And that is the end of my turn, unfortunately. The hunter will move, so he's going to be there next turn. That's unfortunate for me. I can evade him, though, so that's a good thing. We find searching for Izzy. That's awful. It is a treachery weakness. I have to attach it to the location farthest from me. That would be in the balcony, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations away. So searching for Izzy is going to go up there, and then I have to go up there and investigate, use 2 actions to investigate. If I succeed, instead of finding clues, I would discard searching for Izzy instead. If the game ends and it's in play, I suffer a mental trauma, which is awful. Like, honestly, it's the worst. A mental trauma is so bad. Okay. The agenda advanced. Counter card. Twisted to his will. If there are no doom in play, he inserts. Otherwise, test willpower X, where X is the amount of doom in play. If I fail, I discard 2 cards from my hand at random. All right, so it is a willpower 2 versus my willpower 3. I will, man, he's a bad man. I will boost by 1 to be up by 2. Skull still -1 because I don't have 3 or more horror on me, so we succeed there. So that goes away. Our turn, we're still engaged with the man in pallid mask. I will fight him a second time. I will discard. We're at even up. I will discard unexpected curse to be up by 2. 0, that'll knife him a second time. He's still alive. And I will attack him a second time this turn. And I will discard 2 to be up by 2 again. Drawing another skull, which is still just -1. So he is defeated. So get out of here. Discard him. And that immediately advances Act 2A, as he is discarded. When the man in pallid mask would be discarded from play advance, so I may have to put him back. We'll see. We flip it. The Spores of Holly. As you face off with the stranger, you get a sense that he is grinning beneath his pale, faceless mask. Where is everyone, you ask, but he does not respond. What is going on? He remains silent and steps back as you approach. Until his back is against the corner of the room, you spin in shock as the windows shatter and a deluge of cold, salt water floods the room. You turn back to the stranger, but he is gone. Instead of discarding the man in the pallid mask, move him to the lobby. So off he goes to the lobby. Add 2 Elder Thing tokens to the Chaos Bag. Place 1 horror on each private location until the end of the scenario. Horror on locations represents flooding water, and each location with horror gains forced. When you would leave this location, test agility 2. If you fail, take 1 damage and cancel the effects of the move. Keep this card next to the act deck as a reminder and advance to 3A. All right, so we place 1 horror on each private location. So that's a private location. Private, not private, and not private. So the backstage area right now is just going to get flooded. Move to 3A. Keep that out there so that we know what happens. So we know what to do when we try to move. The stranger must know the way out. You have to follow him. While the man in the pallid mask is not in play, the lobby gains resign. At the end of the round, place one horror on each location with no horror on it that is connected to a location with horror. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, we advance. Okay. So he's over there. All right, so I still have one. I have to have one action left. He's going to come right at me. But this connects to both rooms because they connect to each other. So these actually connect to each other as well. Should have done that. That cost me an actual action last turn, or when I first did it. Oh well. It'll help me now because these are all connected to each other apparently. Because this one here, it says they connect to diamond locations. This is definitely a diamond location. Here, oops. All right, so this dressing room connects to here and here. He's in here. So either way I go, he's going to get me. There's nothing I can do about that. But I can definitely make him come to me. So I'm going to move from here to here. Doing so, I have to take an agility 2 test to not fall on my face in the water. I'll just take that straight up. -1, we're good. And then I also have to take a horror. So I will take a horror damage for leaving the dressing room. And we are now here. And that is the end of the turn. So enemies, he's aloof. He just hangs out. He's coming down here to pay a visit. So he is now engaged with me. He will attack me and do 2 damage. There's nothing I can do about that. Which hurts. That hurts. And I'm not going to be messing around with this guy. I'm probably going to try to evade him and run the hell out of here. That's the end of the turn. So we are ready. I only have a handful of turns, too, to get this done. So... And I will take a horror as well. So there we go. So now we're at 3 or more horrors, so the skull's in the bag. Oh, I also needed to put the elder things into the bag. I forgot to do that. I will do that now. Those in the bag. They all do the same thing, so it doesn't matter, but it probably matters after this mission. Okay, so that advanced. There's still 3 to go. I can try to kill him. He's not that hard to kill. I mean, I could use my knife on him twice. And then use my knife on him twice. And then discard my knife the 3rd time to do the final blow on him. It may be worth my while to do it because that eliminates... That resets it. Remove all doom from play and reset the agenda to 1A, then place 3 doom on it. So it resets the whole thing, which gives us more time, which I desperately need to get to Izzy. So we're probably going to try to fight this guy. All right, so encounter card coming in. The Fanatic, that's bad. That just fucked everything up. There's no clue. Oh, there's no clues in here. So he's just going to show up. Okay, that's poor. We might become elusive instead and just bail. All right, so it's our turn. We're gonna be elusive. So I'm going to play elusive. Play only during my turn. I can disengage from each enemy, engage with you, and move to a reveal location with no enemies. We're out of here. Spend 2, and we're out of here. Boom. So we disengage with them. That's too far. Go there. We disengage with them, so that makes them exhausted. So they're exhausted. Actually, you know what? I don't think they are. I'm gonna, because it doesn't say evade them, it says disengage. So I will move there. My second action will be to move there. My third action will be to move here. I can't move. This connects to diamond, triangle. Oh, I screwed that all up. I completely screwed that all up. Yeah, alright, so I have to fix that. I completely screwed this all up. I misread that card connects what that card connects to. He doesn't connect to the other rooms, he connects only to the backstage. So I messed that all up. So I need to reset that. So I'm going to reset this here. So I unfortunately need to backtrack because I messed that all up. So what I did, I placed the you know what, I'm not going to backtrack. It's too much of a hassle to do that now. I messed it up. I'm just going to own it. So I messed it up. I can't fix it now. It's too late to fix it. So I'm going to just leave it. So one action there, one action there. The card was played. The one action to play evade and move there. Second action to move there. Here says it connects to here, but this does not connect there. So I cannot get up to the balcony from there. I'm assuming like the door's locked. So I will go here. And that will reveal the lobby. It says, through the tall glass doors leading into the lobby, you can see that this room isn't nearly as dilapidated as the auditorium. Signs promoting the King in Yellow taunt you from inside. We revealed it. The wide doors that led to the streets of Arkham are somehow gone, as if they were never there. This force, when the lobby is revealed, put 2 of the set-aside lobby doorway locations into play at random. And I can spend 2 actions here to draw 3 cards. There's 1 clue here in a shroud of 4. I put 2 of the set-aside lobby doorways into play. So I'll try to make sure that I put them connected the right way. I messed that up. I do apologize. Lobby doorway. Lobby doorway. And it connects to triangle. Lobby connects to square. All right, so we'll put a path marker here. Path marker. Okay. That's the end of my turn. He's aloof, so he doesn't do anything. He's got a smooth shroud of 6 going on in here. I need to defeat him, though, so I may have to dump a bunch into getting rid of that. All right, so that is the end of the turn. So it is the bad guy's turn. So the fanatic is not going to do anything. He's just going to hang out. He is a hunter, so he moves. It says... At the end of the round, place 1 horror on each location with no horror that is connected to a location with horror. So there is... each location with no horror. So this location gets a horror now. Ugh. So the water's flowing this way. Okay. That's it for the enemy's turn. He's aloof, so he doesn't do anything. I'm going to run out of time pretty quick here. So we're going to need to start. We're going to need to hit the accelerator, or I'm going to need to go fight the royal emissary and kill his ass, which is a distinct possibility. Like, I think my next turn is going to be to go up here, get rid of searching for Izzy, come back down and try to kill the man in the pallid mask. So he's going to be here. Actually, try to kill somebody. I don't know. I'm going to run out of time. This is what's going to happen. We'll see if I have time to go do searching for Izzy, because I think I'm going to run out of time if I don't. Encounter card. Puts into my hand. Whispers in your head. You secretly add whispers in your head to your hand. You cannot play events. Discard whispers from your head. I don't think I care about events. I don't have any in my hand anyway. Alright, so here we go. It's our turn. I can either try to investigate at a shroud of 6 against him. If I find the one clue, he gets discarded. He's defeated. While the man in pallid mask is not in play, the lobby gains resign. So that gives us the ability to resign if I defeat him. So he's got to go away. But I need to be able to investigate for better than 6, and that's a bitch. Or I can just fight him. I may actually be better off just fighting him. Because we're even with my knife. Even. Got my gun here. I could do one. I could fight him twice. And then I could technically resign, but I want to get up there and get rid of searching for Izzy. Alright, so we're going to fight him. I think we're going to fight. So my knife will give us a 4. Discard 2, 5, 6. 6 versus 4. -2 is good. We get him. Then we'll fight a second time. And the second time I'm going to discard my knife. Give me a +2, so it's a 5. 6, 7. Elder thing. -4. That, so you know what, I would have discarded a knife too. I'm going to discard a knife too. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use my gun the next time. So alright, so we'll get to discard him. You know what, no, I'm not going to do that. I didn't do it. That's cheating. I'm not going to do that. Alright, so I missed that one. The last one I'd be even up. I'll go up by... Fuck, I discarded my knife though. This game has been effing me, this game. Just been... Actually, I had to spend an action to engage him, fight once, fail the second time, so that's it. That's my turn. He's going to cause a sand loss to me. He's going to move. He's going to sit still. Water's going to go there. Failing that attack. Failing that attack. It very well may have just ended the whole thing. Yeah. Because now I have to deal with him, and he's coming. And I'm going to have to take a hit. Okay. We're going to run out of time, too. That's the other problem. Okay, here we go. Emergency cash. Counter card. Fanatic, so another bad guy. I would take a damage and a horror. It would put me at 5 horror, 4 damage. to play gun, which gives me +2 fight. Puts me at a 5. Discard my knight. So bad right now. So bad, so bad, so bad. Resources. Get rid of the fanatic. He's going to show up and do 3. I'll take 3 damage next turn, which won't kill me, but it'll be close. All right, so we're gonna focus on the man in the pallid mask here. So I am going to pull out my gun. So that is going to my gun does cost 2 more than I have. So I'm going to pull out another knife. Knife out. I will take a horror and a damage. And then I'm going to fight, even up. I will discard 1 to be up by 1. -1 is good. Need to win 1 more time. I will discard my Derringer. Fight again, up by 1. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to discard my knife. I'll be up by 3. That'll kill him and give me the opportunity to run for the damn hills next turn if we succeed. -3 is good because we are at a 4, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, it's not good. So I'm at a 3, +2, +1, and he's a 4. Gotta be shitting me. So again, second straight time that we failed with our knife, like to discard our knife. So I'm gonna lose. That's brutal. A brutal way to go down. All right, that's my 3 actions. I failed again in the ultimate way to escape. I failed. So he's going to do a horror to me. 1 horror. He will do a damage. 1 damage. He is going to move. Ha ha. He will do 2 damage and a horror because he's coming in hot. And the 1 horror will defeat me. So I am defeated. Wah, wah. All right, so I get defeated. Let's see what happens. Maybe the world doesn't end. All right, here we go. If no resolution was reached, each Vescar was defeated. Once again, you are startled awake, this time by the cold, clammy fingers of a hand on your shoulder. Are you all right? An elderly man asks, helping you to your feet. Your mind is a flurry of memories. Last you remember, the Ward Theater had become a place of nightmares, filled with dangerous fanatics and strange terrors. Worried, you glance at your surroundings, only to find yourself in a rain-slicked curb outside the theater. Despite the events from earlier, the city seems normal to your eyes, or at least what passes as normal for Arkham. The bright glare of headlights drills into your eyes as cars pass on the street, splashing dirty rainwater onto the sidewalk beside you. The old man wears an expression of concern, noting the terror in your eyes. Were you mugged? Damn those troubled boys! He exclaims, dry gulching folk on the night. Dry gulching folk on a night out of the theater. Not a single street these hooligans haven't staked a claim on, I tell you. You stand and walk over to the front window of the Ward Theater to tentatively peer through, but it is too dark to see anything inside. The elderly man eyes you curiously for a moment, then shrugs and continues walking. Well, I'd best be on my way. I would do the same if I were you, he says, rounding the street corner. You quickly follow, hoping to warn him to stay away from the theater, but when you turn the corner, it is not the elderly man you see, but the familiar sight of the stranger in his featureless, pallid mask. His unwavering gaze bears down on you. Who are you? You call out. The stranger does not respond, but instead turns and disappears into the alleyway behind the theater. You give chase, hoping for answers, but by the time you reach the alleyway, it is empty save for a notice on the wall near the theater's employee entrance. Don't be a wet blanket. Come to the King in Yellow cast party, 8 p.m. at the home of Constance Domain, 1452 Atlantic Avenue, formal dress only. You tear the notice from the wall and take it with you, frustrated and lost. All right, so we got a new campaign log. Let's get that up and going. The new Path to Carcosa campaign log. Here we go. All right, Jenny's Path to Carcosa says the stranger is on to you. All right, it says record the stranger's on to you and add the man in the pallid mask weakness to the lead investigator's deck. No problem. For the remainder of this campaign, anytime the bearer of the man in the pallid mask leaves the campaign for any reason, choose an investigator. Be the man in the pallid mask's investigator deck. Okay, so it's on to you. So we get to add man in the pallid mask. All right, so we get to add man in the pallid mask. In your campaign log under chasing the stranger, place one tally mark for each time the man in the pallid mask was defeated during this scenario. 1. We killed him once in this quest. Each investigator earns experience equal to X victory value of each card in the victory display. All right, and we will move on to the next mission, which is the Last King, which is the after show party. All right, we did successfully explore the rehearsal room and the trap room, so we do have 2 experience. 2. I don't think defeating the man in the pallid mask did not give us any. Defeating the fanatic didn't give us any. Oh, I take a permanent because I was defeated. I take a permanent trauma. 1 mental trauma, which is terrible. Trauma. The issue I had is I was going to run out of time because I was at 5 here and I was ill-equipped. I definitely made some mistakes. I mean, outside of the misplacing how I did the backstage rooms, I made some mistakes just in general with how I ended up playing through the scenario. I mean, I don't know if it would have worked out. I failed so many tests that were critical at the critical moment that it just put me in a bad spot right every time. I mean, every time I needed an absolutely critical success on a skill test that I had a heavy advantage on, I pulled the worst possible token right there. Just look at right there. You see the -3. I absolutely had to succeed at that. If I succeed at that, I win. If I succeed at that, I have a chance to win. Without success there, I lose. And I failed it, and I was defeated instead of being able to actually get the resign result here on Act 3A. I ended up failing that, and when I was fighting him the previous time, I ended up losing an entire turn because I drew 2 consecutive -4s when I was fighting him. And it cost me my knife the second time. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I just failed those skill tests, and those skill tests ended up costing me. They were the difference between succeeding in this scenario and being defeated. So it's fine. I mean, I'm not mad. It's just I can say it's annoying. It's frustrating to have it go that way. Failing once or even twice is no big deal, but failing that third time and the 3 times in a row in the most critical scenario was just unfortunate. So, oh well, we were defeated, but we didn't die, so we get to continue the campaign, which is good. And we will pick this up. I will not be streaming at all next week. No streams from me. I am taking a trip to New York City with my family, so it will be 2 Thursdays from now. I will be back with the second round of Path to Carcosa, Jenny's Path to Carcosa, and we'll pick it up then. I appreciate you guys. Please check out all of my stuff over on YouTube. I've been posting a good bit of Warhammer stuff over there lately, over at Broncos Gaming World on YouTube. You can also follow me on Twitter at Broncos Gaming World or Facebook at Broncos Gaming World. Also, please subscribe over on Twitch. Broncos Gaming World is where I do my live streams. And right now I'm doing just a couple a week, but I might end up picking up another one somewhere along the line. Just doing one on Tuesday with Lord of the Rings Saga campaign and Thursdays Arkham Horror campaigns. And I will be doing those for as long as I'm able to. I'll be posting the VOD of this up on the YouTube channel here soon. I appreciate you guys. Anybody that wants to jump in and watch live streams, I appreciate you. Anybody who watches my videos over on YouTube, I appreciate you guys a ton. You guys are doing a great job helping me get better with my content and are helping grow my channel, which is a great thing, and I am very thankful. Signing off for the next week and a half or so. I will see you guys again on Tuesday, the 4th of April. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much.